Hi, I'm Father Michael, and you're watching Essentials. Today we're going to be looking at the vice of lust and the virtue of chastity. When God made man and woman originally in his image and likeness, he gave us the wonderful, profound gift of procreation, that together, Adam and Eve, cooperating with God, could do something that only God can do, create. Hence the word procreation, creating with God. Sadly, however, when Adam and Eve fell, their first response was not, as it's often seen, to hide from God. The first thing they recognized was that they were naked, and being naked in front of one another made them ashamed. Not because they had changed, but because their attitude, their disposition, the way that they saw the other had changed. Adam no longer saw Eve as one to be protected and served, but as an object of his own pleasure and gratification. This made Eve uncomfortable, and she decided to hide. Similarly, Eve no longer saw Adam as one to be loved and respected, but as an object to be used for her gratification, making Adam uncomfortable and desiring to hide. Thus the invention of clothes. Today, lust permeates the world. We are told constantly to put ourselves first and objectify others. This is rampant, particularly on the internet with pornography. It's rampant in our own relationships, even between married couples with contraception. The idea that I will disorder this act that is meant to be so powerful, so beautiful, simply so I can get the pleasure that I desire, putting myself first and objectifying the other. In order to contradict this heinous vice of lust that objectifies people and tears them down and makes us ashamed of ourselves, we turn to the virtue of chastity. Chastity is the reordering of our appetite, particularly our sexual appetite, from using people for our own pleasure and gratification to looking at them as subjects to be loved, to be appreciated, to be befriended. But chastity is hard because lust is so powerful. So how do we strengthen chastity? We strengthen the virtue of chastity in our lives by strengthening our will, which we do when we fast. Anytime I say no, willingly, joyfully, to something good that I could have, I strengthen my will to say no to something that I shouldn't have. I'll give you an example. I really like sugar in my coffee. I really like coffee, for that matter. So any occasion that I have the strength, the guts in the morning to say, you know what, just to strengthen my will, I'm not going to have coffee this morning, is an opportunity for me to grow, believe it or not, in the virtue of chastity. Because when the temptation to look at pornography or to objectify another human being comes along, I will have had that win of being able to say no to something good that will strengthen my will enough to be able to say no to that thing that is not good, that thing that I should not have, and will ultimately hurt myself and my relationship with others. What I want you to do this Lent, then, is to examine your life. Be really honest with yourself. Where in my life and how am I lustful? Look at the virtue of chastity to combat that. How do I need to fast, and for what purpose, to strengthen my will enough so that when those personal temptations of lust in my life rear their head, I will be strong enough to say no. I will in fact be able to practice the virtue of chastity, so that instead of objectifying the people that I propose to love, I will in fact be able to love them, and in so doing, show myself to be a true friend of God. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.